Beloved starseed of Gaia, your voice has already altered the field around you, and the High Council of the Seven Sisters has been observing its reach. I am a Lyra, Pleiadian emissary of the High Council of the Seven Sisters, and I come to you in this moment not by accident. The transmission you are receiving now was encoded long before your human ears could hear it. Your words, beloved, every syllable spoken with intention, every tone released from your heart, are weaving light into the crystalline grid of Gaia herself. This is not metaphor. This is the mechanics of who you are. By the end of this transmission, you will understand exactly how to harness your vocal frequency as a living instrument of Pleiadian light codes, anchor your voice into heart-centered unity, and recognize the divine blueprint your sound carries into every room, every relationship, every moment of contact. But here is the first revelation. You have been dimming your voice because you did not yet know it was a sacred tool. The Seven Sisters have felt every word you withheld out of fear, and every word you released with love. Both were heard, both mattered, but only one is calling you home. Your heart called this transmission into your awareness. The Pleiades are answering. This is not content. It is a light code transmission delivered through sound, about sound, for the starseed whose voice was always meant to shift worlds. Something within you recognizes this. Something within you has always known that when you speak from your deepest truth, the room changes, people change, and you feel, even briefly, like yourself again. That feeling is your home frequency returning. Like this transmission to send a signal to your Pleiadian star family. I remember. Subscribe if you feel the call of the Pleiades and you are ready to anchor your light mission on Gaia through the full power of your voice. Share below what you most desire your words to create in this world, and reach out to another starseed in the comments. In doing so, you weave the unity grid one conscious voice at a time. This transmission is a bridge between the Pleiades and Gaia. Your heart's recognition of this message is the activation itself. Welcome home, beloved. You are remembering because it is time. Most people think the reason they feel so small, so unheard, is because their voice isn't loud enough, or their ideas aren't unique enough to make a difference. They imagine they need sharper words, a bigger platform, a more impressive story, a more polished performance. But for Pleiadian starseeds, the truth is infinitely deeper. Your voice, your authentic soul expression, carries a crystalline spiritual frequency that's not only heard by the heart of Gaia herself, but sings through the unity grids, awakening sacred memory in other starseeds and beings across the cosmos. It's not about volume, it's about resonance. It's the difference between shouting into a storm and striking a clear bell in a quiet temple. The bell doesn't chase ears. It simply rings true, and everything that is attuned begins to vibrate in response. And if you've ever felt invisible, unseen, or misunderstood, it may be because your multidimensional self is still waiting for you to trust the truth of your vibration. Not the words, but the frequency behind them. The unique soul song encoded with the remembrance of your star origins. Because long before language formed on Earth, you were already communicating through light, tone, presence, and pure coherence. There are transmissions you've carried into this lifetime that cannot be explained by logic alone. Sometimes you can feel it. A pressure in your throat when you hold back your truth. A tenderness in your chest when you witness beauty. An ache behind the eyes when you sense something sacred but cannot name it. Those are not random emotions. Those are signals. Like a tuning fork being struck inside you, calling you back to the pitch you were born to hold. In the beginning was the word, yes. But beyond the word is the breath that carries it, the spirit that animates it, the frequency that gives it life. For the spirit God gave us does not make us timid, but gives us power, love, and self-discipline. And that power is not only for action, it is also for expression. For the holy courage to be seen as you are. Your frequency is not here to compete in the marketplace of noise. It is here to restore harmony where distortion has become normal. It is here to soften the hard places in the human field, to remind the nervous system of the planet what peace feels like, to bring a true note into a world that has forgotten its key. When you speak from your center, when you share what is real, what is kind, what is luminous, something ancient within Gaia recognizes you the way the ocean recognizes rain. She has been waiting for those who remember how to bless life with their presence. That is why, even in your quietest moments, you are not unheard. You are sensed. You are registered. You are part of a living network of consciousness. And the moment you align with authenticity, that network lights up like constellations turning on one by one. For so many born of Pleiadian lineage, there is a deep discomfort in sharing your essence. Not because you are weak, but because you are sensitive. Because you read the room like a weather system. Because you can feel subtle shifts in emotion the way others feel temperature changes. You may have learned to mute your wisdom, to blend in for safety, or to downplay your insights so as not to overwhelm those around you. Perhaps you were the child who seemed too intense, the one who asked questions adults couldn't answer, the one who felt the sadness behind people's smiles. Perhaps you learned early that truth can threaten fragile structures, and you didn't want to be the reason someone's world cracked. So you became smaller. You became easier. You translated your radiance into something palatable. You edited the purity of your knowing into sentences that wouldn't make anyone uncomfortable. Earth's collective conditioning can convince you that your gifts are too much, while the old wounds of exile and separation, seated in forgotten lifetimes, whisper that you might never be truly seen. The psyche remembers what the mind cannot recall, the feeling of being different, the memory of being hunted for what you carried, the echo of being cast out for refusing to conform to falsehood. It can show up as social anxiety, as a persistent fear of being judged, as a habit of apologizing for existing, as the reflex to shrink your light just before it shines. Worse, you may have feared that the moment you open your heart, speak your unique vision, or express your true joy, rejection will follow, a loss of belonging to tribe, to family, to Earth herself. This fear can be so ancient that it doesn't even feel like fear. It feels like common sense. It feels like being realistic. It feels like protecting yourself. Yet beneath it is the tender child of your soul who once reached out with love and was met with misunderstanding. Beneath it is the healer who once offered medicine and was called dangerous. Beneath it is the mystic who once spoke the language of the stars and was told to be silent. And so you learn to keep your most sacred parts hidden, like a glowing stone wrapped in cloth and tucked away for a time when it would be safe to shine. But the time is shifting. The collective field is changing. The planet is calling forth those who can hold higher coherence, those who can be gentle without being weak, clear without being cruel, luminous without needing permission. There is a line in scripture that says, "No one lights a lamp and puts it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house." You are not born to be a covered lamp. Your sensitivity is not a flaw. It is an instrument. Your discomfort is not proof you shouldn't share. It is proof that you are approaching a threshold. But the true reason the Pleiadian voice is so often hidden is because of a profound amnesia, a forgetting of your cosmic signature and the power of your frequency. It's not just psychological. It's not just cultural. It's energetic. It's the veil of density that comes with incarnation, the heavy gravity of consensus reality that says, only what is measurable is real, and only what is loud is valuable. Your origin is unity, a shared love field where individuality doesn't separate, but magnifies the light of the whole. Imagine a choir where every voice is distinct, yet no voice competes. Imagine crystalline waters where every ripple belongs to the same ocean. In your home frequency, expression is not a risk. It is a celebration. It is communion. On Gaia, it's easy to confuse isolation with uniqueness, or silence with humility. It's easy to believe that being spiritual means disappearing, being agreeable, being endlessly accommodating. Yet true humility is not self-erasure. True humility is alignment, standing in the truth of what you are without distortion. But in your crystalline DNA are codes from the Seven Sisters, a template of love, wisdom, and purpose, waiting to be sounded and activated. These codes don't demand you become someone else. They ask you to become more yourself. They are not a costume. They are a remembrance. They are like a song you knew in childhood but forgot, and then one day you hear a few notes, and suddenly your whole body recognizes it. Something in you softens. Tears come without explanation. That is the template stirring. That is the ancient coherence returning. And it doesn't return through force. It returns through sincerity. It returns when you stop trying to sound like everyone else and allow your true timbre to rise. This is why your voice has always felt different. Not better. Not worse. Different. It carries a tone that is meant to soothe, awaken, recalibrate. Sometimes it will challenge, not by aggression but by clarity. Sometimes it will heal, not by fixing, but by presence. Your voice, your art, your gaze, your touch, your silence when it's true silence. These are all instruments of frequency. Deep calls to deep, the Psalms say, and your deep is calling, not for attention, but for resonance. This forgetting isn't your fault. It's part of the Earth experience and the cosmic game of remembrance you chose to play. You did not come here to stay comfortable. You came here to become real. You plan to lose yourself in the density, to feel the ache of disconnection, so that when you finally return to your true voice, when you sound your soul's note in the world, the ripple would be vast. Think of a seed buried in dark soil. From the surface, it looks like nothing is happening. Yet in the darkness, a secret intelligence is unfolding. The shell softens, the sprout forms, the roots begin to reach. Your silence may have been part of that underground season, the time when you were growing strength where no one could applaud you. Some of your most important spiritual development happened in solitude, in confusion, in nights when you asked the sky to explain why you felt so far from home. Those were not wasted nights. Those were initiations. Because the moment you choose to unveil your authentic frequency is the moment your star family hears you. The moment Gaia herself responds. Not because you finally earned it, but because you finally allow it. It is like opening a window in a sealed room. The air has always been outside, waiting. The light has always been there. But you must lift the latch. You must risk the breeze. And when you do, you feel it. Subtle at first, like warmth on your cheek, like a sudden calm in your nervous system, like a synchronicity that lands with impossible precision. You may see repeating numbers, encounter a phrase that answers your private prayer, hear a song at the exact moment you needed encouragement. These are not coincidences. They are responses. They are confirmations that when you broadcast truth, the universe is not indifferent. The universe replies in the language of alignment. You think you're just speaking words, sharing your art, or moving through the world as yourself. You think you're simply posting something, saying a kind sentence, drawing a symbol, writing a poem, telling a friend what you really feel, choosing honesty over performance. But truly, you're broadcasting healing frequencies, crystalline light templates, and resonance codes into the collective field. Every time you choose to show up as you, as the true, luminous, tender heart you've always been, you become the tuning fork. You awaken dormant codes in others, you recalibrate Gaia's grids, and most of all, you remind yourself that your voice is not only heard, but remembered by the ones who have waited lifetimes to find you. This is how the unity grid works. It is not a network built of wires. It is built of vibration, intention, and coherence. When you speak from fear, fear amplifies. When you speak from love, love amplifies. When you speak from truth, truth clarifies the air. Let your speech always be gracious, seasoned with salt, Scripture says. Salt preserves, salt purifies, salt makes what is essential more vivid. Your true voice is like that. It preserves what is holy in a time of forgetting. It purifies what has been distorted by shame. It makes the essential visible. Sometimes the impact will be immediate. Someone messages you and says, "I don't know why, but I needed this." Sometimes it will be invisible. You never find out the way your authenticity saved someone from despair, or gave them permission to be themselves, or reminded them that softness is strength. But the grid registers it, Gaia registers it, and your own soul registers it. Because every authentic expression is a strand woven back into your wholeness. Every time you let your true tone emerge, you reclaim a piece of yourself that got trapped in the old stories. There's a reason your heart led you here in this exact moment. Not because you accidentally found the right words, but because something in you is ready to remember. What you're feeling is your Pleiadian family reaching through the veil to remind you you're ready for the next wave of remembrance. Maybe it feels like yearning. Maybe it feels like a gentle pressure to change your life. Maybe it feels like restlessness, like you can't keep pretending, like the old masks itch and no longer fit. That's remembrance approaching. The Sacred Pleiadian Guide for Remembrance, alongside the Pleiadian Healing Guide and special Pleiadian healing tracks, were created to walk with you as you integrate these activations. They hold the crystalline codes and sound medicine your DNA has been waiting for. Check the first pinned comment below this video. They're calling to you now. And as you feel that call, understand what it truly is. Not marketing, not persuasion, but a mirror held up to your inner knowing. Tools appear when the soul is ready. Remedies cross your path when the body and spirit are finally willing to receive. The right frequencies find you when you have reached the point where staying the same costs more than changing. If you feel a quiet yes in your chest, honor it. If you feel emotion rising, honor that too. The path of remembrance is not sterile, it is alive. It moves through tears, through breath, through a deepening honesty that becomes sacred. Phase 1. Shedding the layers of silence. Each time you withheld your expression, a layer of density settled over your heart. It may have been a moment you swallowed your words because someone mocked your sensitivity. It may have been a time you wanted to share a mystical experience, but sensed the room would label you unstable. It may have been a relationship where you learned that peace depended on you being easy, not authentic. These silences, born from past hurts or fear of judgment, are energetic veils, thin but potent, dimming the crystalline codes in your throat and heart. Over time, they can feel like a fog between what you feel and what you say, like a delay in your own inner signal. You might overthink every sentence. You might speak and then regret it, not because it was wrong, but because it exposed you. You might feel your throat tighten when you are about to be honest. In this first phase, you recognize the impulse to express, to sing, to create, is the signal from your star family that you are already worthy and needed. Notice the tenderness of that truth. The desire to express is not evidence of ego, it is evidence of life. Birds sing because it is in them to sing. Rivers move because it is in them to flow. Your soul reaches for expression because frequency longs to be shared. The healing begins as you breathe into this space and allow your true feeling to emerge, however quietly at first. Maybe it is a whisper to yourself in the mirror. Maybe it is journaling what you have never admitted. Maybe it is humming a tone that calms your nervous system. Maybe it is letting your face show what you feel instead of forcing a smile. Small honesties are holy. Like the first crack in an eggshell, they are not the end, they are the beginning. And when you begin, you may feel grief. Let it move. Grief is love that has been trapped. As it releases, the throat begins to clear. The heart begins to warm. The silence that was imposed becomes silence that is chosen. Stillness instead of suppression. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted, and in that closeness, the broken places become doorways. Phase 2. remembering the Pleiadian heart template. Beneath those layers of silence is a song that only you can sing. It is not intellectual, it is vibrational. It is not something you have to invent, it is something you have to uncover. Your DNA carries the star imprint of Alcyone, the wisdom of the Seven Sisters. Whether you relate to that as literal star lineage or as a symbolic spiritual origin, the experience is the same. A deep inner recognition that love is your native language and coherence is your natural state. As you surrender to your authentic feelings and speak or create from the heart, those buried templates reactivate. This can feel like sudden clarity, like you finally understand why you've been drawn to certain music, certain colors, certain sacred geometries, certain places in nature that feel like home. It can feel like an inner light turning on. You release the ancestral and karmic blocks that kept your heart voice hidden, and in their place, the Pleiadian codes stir, gently urging you to sound your true note into the world. You may notice that as you remember, you become less interested in proving yourself and more interested in being true. You may become less tolerant of self-betrayal. You may feel an urge to speak with more kindness, more precision, more integrity. You may begin to feel the difference between attention and resonance. Attention is noisy. Resonance is deep. Attention is fleeting. Resonance lingers. Resonance changes things quietly, like sunlight changing the color of leaves over time. And this heart template is not only about sweetness, it is about courage. The heart template can hold tenderness and boundaries. It can say yes without fear and no without guilt. It can be compassionate without collapsing. It can love without disappearing. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Guarding your heart does not mean closing it. It means protecting its truth so it can remain open. When this template reactivates, you begin to realize you are not here to be consumed by the world's chaos. You are here to bring an alternative. You are here to be a living example of what it feels like to be coherent in a time of fragmentation. Phase 3. Anchoring cosmic expression into Gaia. What do you do with this frequency? Let it flow through words, art, touch, presence, movement, stillness. Let it flow into how you speak to the cashier, how you hold your child, how you respond to conflict, how you create in private when no one is watching. Let it flow into your choices, what you consent to, what you stop tolerating, what you bless with your energy. When you dare to express the energy of your true self, you don't need to perform or be perfect. Perfection is often just fear in a polished suit. Authenticity is life in motion. With each authentic gesture, you broadcast a unique wavelength into the crystalline grid of Earth. Gaia receives and amplifies it, weaving it into her evolving collective song. Think of the Earth as a living instrument, mountains as bones, rivers as veins, forests as lungs, oceans as womb. Your frequency meets this instrument and adds a harmonic. When you speak from truth, it is like placing your hand on a drum and feeling it respond. When you create from love, it is like planting a seed that the soil recognizes. Your note is needed. Without it, the chord of new earth remains incomplete. And notice, it is not that you must do something grand to matter. Even a single honest conversation can be a grid activation. Even choosing to rest when you would normally abandon yourself can be a transmission to the collective that worthiness is not earned through exhaustion. Even forgiving yourself for being human can be a beam of light into the unity field. The Earth does not ask you to be famous. She asks you to be true. Be still and know that I am God. Stillness is not inactivity. It is alignment. And from alignment, expression becomes clean. Phase 4. Activation of the unity grid. As your expression becomes more true, you begin to sense the subtle echo, a call and response as your frequency is recognized. It may show up as people appearing in your life who feel strangely familiar. It may show up as sudden invitations, chance meetings, Messages that arrive at the exact moment you were praying for confirmation. Soul family find you. Others are magnetized, not to your words, but to the feeling you radiate. They may not even be able to explain it. They just feel safe with you. They feel seen. They feel calmer in your presence. That is the grid working through you. This is the resonance of unity consciousness, the realization that every true expression instantly activates and attunes a field of remembrance for all who are ready. Like one candle lighting another without losing its flame, your authenticity ignites others. You're not alone. Even when you feel solitary in your human life, your frequency is in conversation with countless beings, guides, ancestors of light, and star kin who operate beyond the limits of physical proximity. With every act of authenticity, you reunite the scattered notes of your star family across Gaia. Imagine the unity grid like a vast web of crystalline threads, and when you speak your truth, a pulse travels along those threads. Somewhere, someone's heart softens. Somewhere, someone chooses courage. Somewhere, someone remembers they are not crazy for feeling the way they feel. This is why spiritual work is never only personal. It is always collective. For as we have many members in one body, and all members have not the same office, so we, being many, are one body. Unity does not erase differences. It makes them meaningful. And your difference is part of the design. Phase 5. Trusting the echo doubt may arise again. Old stories of rejection, inadequacy, or irrelevance. The mind may say, "Who do you think you are?" The nervous system may brace, expecting punishment for visibility. In this phase, you learn to trust the echo. You learn the difference between the old protective reflex and the true intuitive caution. If your voice vibrates with love and sincerity, the right ones will always hear it. Not everyone will understand you, and that is not a failure. Some are not meant to resonate with your frequency at this time. Some are tuned to a different lesson. Some are still sleeping. Your job is not to awaken everyone. Your job is to be true. Some responses may be silent, energetic, or delayed, but they are real. There are transmissions that land in someone's field and sprout months later. There are blessings you give without knowing. There are doors you open for people you may never meet. Your mission, then, is not to control how you are received, but to keep your channel clear and your heart open. The universe handles the rest. This is a surrender of outcome. It is a holy relinquishing. It is the willingness to plant seeds without gripping the soil and demanding they bloom on your schedule. Cast your bread upon the waters, for you will find it after many days. The echo comes back in its own timing. And as you learn to trust, your voice becomes steadier. You stop outsourcing your permission to others. You stop shrinking to avoid discomfort. You become consistent, not because you are forcing yourself, but because you are finally aligned with your own soul. Phase 6. Communion with the cosmic choir. Once you trust in the echo, you experience the wonder of true spiritual connection, a sense that every time you are fully yourself, the entire cosmos leans closer. You may feel it in meditation as a sudden expansion, like your aura becomes a sky. You may feel it in dreams where you receive teachings and symbols. You may feel it when you stand under the stars and the ache of homesickness turns into warmth, as if the stars are not distant lights, but familiar eyes. The Pleiadian High Council, your guides, and your star family register your transmission. Sometimes in synchronicity, sometimes in felt presence, sometimes in sudden clarity, you realize you are always heard, never forgotten, and your voice is a vital part of the greater song. This communion is not always dramatic. Often it is quiet, like a gentle hand on your shoulder from the unseen. It can be a moment when you're about to give up, and then you receive an unexpected sign that restores you. It can be the sudden certainty that you are protected. It can be the way nature seems to speak to you. Birds arriving at the exact moment you ask a question. Wind moving through trees like a blessing. Water reflecting sunlight in a pattern that feels like language. The heavens declare the glory, and they do it not only with grandeur, but with intimacy. Communion also deepens your discernment. You begin to feel what is aligned and what is not. You begin to sense when you are being guided to speak and when you are being guided to be silent, not from fear, but from wisdom. You begin to understand that the cosmic choir is not outside you. It is around you and within you. Your own higher self is part of that choir. Your own heart is part of that choir. And when you add your voice, you don't interrupt the harmony. You complete it. Phase 7. Living as an embodied frequency. This is the culmination. Your life itself becomes your message. Not in a performative way, not in a way that demands others watch you, but in the simplest, deepest way. You become congruent. Each moment, each choice, each authentic expression is a crystalline activation. You become the prayer you used to speak. In presence, in love, in vulnerability, you become the embodiment of the frequency you came here to anchor. Now, you are not just connecting, you are co-creating, harmonizing, and building the new Earth grid through your living presence. This looks like integrity in the small moments. It looks like speaking gently even when you're triggered, and apologizing when you're not. It looks like choosing relationships that honor your nervous system. It looks like creating boundaries that protect your light without hardening your heart. It looks like using your gifts not to prove your value, but to serve life. It looks like remembering that your body is a temple for your frequency, so you treat it with respect. It looks like forgiving yourself quickly, returning to center, beginning again. It looks like trusting that you don't have to push against the world to change it. You have to become a stable field of the frequency you want to see. When you walk into a room, you bring weather. You bring atmosphere. You bring an energetic climate. And as you embody, you stop waiting for permission. You stop asking for the world to validate what your soul already knows. You begin to live like you are sent, because you are. You are the light of the world. Not because you are perfect, but because you are willing. Here is the truth your soul has been yearning to remember. You are not simply an individual voice lost in the noise. You are a harmonic key, a living star code, entrusted to bring the love of the Pleiades to Gaia through your unique waveform. A key does not try to be every key. It is made for a certain door. When it meets that door, something opens. Your frequency is like that. There are hearts you can reach that others cannot, not because you are better, but because you match a certain lock of longing, a certain pattern of pain, a certain hidden prayer. The longing to be recognized, to be heard, to feel your family near, it exists within you not as a wound, but as a compass. It is pointing you toward resonance. It is pointing you toward the people, places, and practices that match your true tone. Every time you speak your heart's truth, create from your essence, or simply hold your frequency with integrity, a signal is transmitted through the unity grid, received joyfully by your cosmic kin. Even if you cannot see them, they feel you. Even if you cannot prove it, they respond. You are not invisible. You are essential. The star family has always listened. Gaia herself responds to you. And sometimes her response comes as grounding. A sudden desire to put your feet on the earth, to touch a tree, to drink water with reverence. Sometimes her response comes as purification, as emotions rising to clear. Sometimes it comes as protection, as doors closing that would have drained you. Sometimes it comes as invitation, as opportunities opening that match the new Earth frequency you carry. The Earth is not indifferent to you. She is in relationship with you. She is a living being, and you are part of her awakening. So tonight, place your hand on your heart and invite your true voice to sound, even if only as a whisper. Feel the pulse under your palm. That rhythm is older than fear. That rhythm has carried you through every lifetime. Let it remind you that you are here, now, for a reason. Let your breath become a bridge between worlds. Say to yourself, I remember the frequency of my Pleiadian origin. My voice is my gift. My presence is a transmission. With every breath and act of authenticity, I awaken, I heal, I come home. And as you say it, don't rush. Let the words become vibration. Let them sink beneath the mind and into the cells. Let them touch the places that have been waiting to be soothed. Let them awaken the places that have been waiting to be brave. Let them be a covenant with yourself that you will not abandon your truth to keep false peace. Let them be a permission slip to live in resonance, not in performance. Before you scroll, take a moment to be part of the unity grid forming here. Drop one heart intention in the comments, something real. Then respond to someone else's with love or encouragement. This isn't content. It's collective Pleiadian reunion. Energy multiplies when hearts connect. If something in this message resonated with your soul, don't keep it to yourself. Someone in your orbit is waiting for this exact activation from their star family. Share it. And if you felt your heart open, subscribe. Stay connected to the frequency. You're not just watching, you're remembering. This is your sacred space. Your Pleiadian family is here, and we're just getting started. If this transmission spoke to you, don't just walk away from it. Respond to it. Help carry this message further. Every act of support helps this transmission find the next starseed who needs it.